Anthony Adebayo. We off the record.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes.
You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sport.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B. Yo, what's good, man?
What's up, man?
Was that too loud?
Yo, can you turn your mic up a little bit?
Turn it up.
Yeah, having a hard time hearing you. I heard that horn pretty loud and clear.
All right. What's good, man?
Nothing, man. Shoot. Yeah, the NBA scrimmages, got baseball that returned. Man, it's a lot to take in.
Whoa.
Pause.
I'm
So immature.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and be more mature today, maybe. Yeah, man. This week was all right, man. We actually got to hang out a little bit, man. We normally like
we hadn't hung out in a while.
I know, man. So the pandemic, and then you had the baby, and it was just a lot. So, but this past weekend, we celebrated Janiqua's birthday, and we celebrated Dez's birthday. Went out with everybody on Friday, Saturday. We came to the crib. And it was cool. It was cool. It was like, damn, we ain't do this in a while, man. So that was pretty cool.
So I feel bad. So officially on the air, I want to say happy belated to Dez. I caught Dez's birthday a day late because you get in with the Instagram post and you get in with the Facebook post, and I knew her birthday was coming up, but for whatever reason I just missed it. So happy belated to Desiree.
And at one point she was one of the top followers on the Facebook page. So you got to give her props. She supports, and we support the people that support us and the people that don't support us too.
Yeah, got to do better, man.
That's cool. But NBA starts tomorrow, man. NBA starts tomorrow. But before we even go there, you know what? I was thinking, we've been doing this for a while. This is actually episode 160. And I feel like we don't get the props that we should actually get.
Elaborate.
So, again, like I said, we've been doing the show for quite some time, and we have people that come ask us, how do we get started? What should we do? And we don't get the credit for it. They saying they can't. Can you hear me now?
A little bit, man. You got to figure it out. Maybe bring it a little bit closer.
Whoa, no.
Yeah, I tried to keep that as PG as possible. I was like, I was struggling. I was like, bring the microphone closer to your mouth. I was like, nah, I ain't even gonna say all that. But yeah, I mean, you got this high tech equipment now, and you getting used to being at the house. At first you was like, oh man, I miss the studio, and I can't wait to get back in the studio. Now you upgrading all your equipment. So the one thing about the NBA, so I've been watching a lot of the scrimmages. The games have been really exciting. I was expecting to see like a lot of rust. With the players like having the layoff like that, but it seems like they pretty much for the most part picked up where they left off. some of the scrimmages have really been entertaining, to say the least. I will say this: the NBA, zero positive COVID cases. They have the blueprint right now. What are your thoughts on that, man? Can't hear you. Nah, yeah, we still can't hear you, man. Nah, seriously. Nah, so it's something with your earbuds that you just put in. Yeah, it's worse now. Yeah. I don't know how we gonna do this if you can't talk. I guess I just gotta go an hour straight. But again, like I said, the scrimmages have been really good, and I've basically enjoyed them. We got Anthony Davis; he got hurt again, so we really haven't seen too much action in him. One team that I've watched the scrimmages on, and they look really good, is Indiana. I know, like, we've been talking a lot about some of the sleepers. Like, we've been talking about, like, the 76ers and Miami, and we were talking about Boston, and we've left Indiana out the conversation. Victor Oladipo, he's come back and just he's back. The layoff did wonders for him. Malcolm Brogdon, he was basically I don't want to say he was hurt, but he had a lot of games that he missed due to injury last year.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. All right, so now I got or whatnot. But what I was talking about Indiana. Have you had the opportunity to watch the Indiana Pacers?
I have not seen Indiana. But is Victor Oladipo playing? Did he actually say he's playing? All right, cool. And he's been balling?
Yeah, he's been balling.
Yeah, because I've missed it because I've seen that's probably one of the few teams that I haven't seen. I've seen the Wizards. I've seen the Lakers.
For the Wizards.
They look for the Wizards. They shouldn't even be there, man.
And you know, I lost my train of thought because Anthony Davis, of course, he had got hurt, but he played the Wizards. And I was just kind of like, man, wow, Bradley Beal, those guys don't stand a chance. You know, I like the Wizards, but I think it's almost even better to just send them home. It's going to be tough for them to get a playoff spot.
And where are they at now? They're at like 9, right? Or 10?
They're 9. So they were the only East Coast team that had like a legitimate shot,
right?
Catching like the 18, but without Bradley Beal, they don't stand a chance.
And it's gonna be interesting because the Nets they don't have a lot of their pieces either. So it's going to be interesting once they play each other. But yeah, I agree with you. Just send them home. I mean, just send them home. But Indiana, let's finish with Indiana. So you said Bradley Beal is hooping. He's balling.
No, Victor Oladipo.
I meant that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Victor Oladipo. Yeah.
Malcolm Brogdon. Of course, they got like Miles Turner. TJ Warren, it's under the radar before the like season ended. Like he's having a good season. Like he's averaging like 19. And again, he's one of those players that he's putting up 19. Doesn't get a lot of recognition, but he's been out there hooping. They are without Sabonis, so
right,
kind of like hurt them a little bit. But now Indiana's they've got a squad. I wouldn't say like they want to go to like the Eastern Conference Finals, but it's definitely a team that I think benefited
from the layoff.
Okay. I believe they're at six. They're in sixth right now, right? Or seventh? Six. So I feel like they will make the playoffs, but I think they're going to be an early exit too. I think that they'll be out early.
So the thing about the East,
Mm-hmm.
and we haven't agreed on the teams
Mm-hmm.
that are going to end up like going to the like championship and competing, but it is unpredictable. I think
Right.
like, depending on who you talk to, everybody has a legitimate shot in the East compared to the West. Like the West, I think most people think like, you know what, it's going to be the Clippers, it's going to be the Lakers, and then
And the Bucks.
yeah.
Oh well, in the West, yeah.
So what you think? Did you hear about Lou Williams?
I did, and I'm glad you brought that up because I think he caught a little bit more slack than he should have, especially from I can see that from people that haven't been to Atlanta or just certain people, even white people. I can see that from them, but for like people that we know. You've been to Magic City. You've been to the strip clubs in Atlanta, and you know them chicken wings. You know them wings is the truth. So
Hey, strip clubs have the best chicken wings.
right, and so
yeah.
So to act like that was so far fetched that he just went to the strip club just to get wings and go home. I mean, who wants to go to a strip club right now to see strippers anyway? But to just go to Magic City to get wings is not far fetched at all. Not one bit.
Well,
and
a cultural thing. Like a lot of people don't understand.
Right.
Strip clubs have good food. You know.
Right.
And people, like I said, they may not know that, but strip clubs, like I think of the one that's closer to us, Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Stadium for a while was like a 4-star, 5-star like restaurant.
Yeah.
And a lot of people they may not like that, but yeah, it's not far fetched for somebody to go to the strip club
and I just thought he caught.
No.
You don't believe him?
I think he went there for the wings and the girls.
Well, I mean,
he could have went to Wingstop.
No, Wingstop wings don't got nothing on Magic City wings.
He could have went anywhere to get chicken wings.
But here's the thing though. There's video proof. There's video proof of him saying, "Yo, my favorite place to get wings is Magic City." On interviews, and even other teammates have said that he's that he's gotten wings catered from Magic City for a house party.
I believe him that he likes wings. I like the wings at Magic City too, but to sit there and for the wings, I'm not buying that.
Right.
I think it was a complete package deal. I'm not mad at him. You know what I mean? I'm not mad at him. He got out the bubble.
Right.
Like being in prison, a nice prison. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, he had to go to a funeral. He went to his dad's funeral.
So here's the thing too, right? No matter how glamorous you make the bubble, you are still locked down. And people just don't like to be told, no, I can't go somewhere.
Right.
When he left, it was just kind of like, shoot, man, let me go ahead and get these Magic City wings, look at a few, and then go back in the bubble.
Oh boy, Sky, you open up. So open up the can. So instead of he knew he had to go back to the bubble.
Absolutely.
And so he was like, well, let me do this before I head back.
Absolutely, and to be transparent, I'm not like bashing Lou Williams. I did the same thing. I I would have did the same thing if I had the opportunity and I was locked down in the bubble.
Right.
And you know my favorite food is chicken.
Yeah, we know.
Opportunity to get it at Magic City. Oh yeah, I'm there too. I'm not even mad at them. But the bigger issue, and I think what the NBA players are having a problem with is where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the NBA is taking the stance to where that they feel, and in fairness to them, they are being consistent. Is they feel like even if he would have went to Wingstop, it's still a public restaurant that's at risk. You know what I mean? And you still should quarantine because
10 days though. I think that's a bit much, especially when you're getting tested and they have the testing to continuously test you.
okay, so let's say Alex Caruso, right? So you heard
Okay.
about his situation, right?
No.
Okay, his sister was supposed to get married. Well, his sister got married.
Mm-hmm.
He asked for permission to go to the wedding, and he asked what the protocol was. If he was to come back into the bubble, how long would he have to quarantine? Now, his sister was having 100. It was like 100 guests.
That's too many people.
And that's what they told him.
Yeah.
They told him, like, look, you have to follow everything. It doesn't matter that it's your sister. It's 100 people. It's an at-risk place.
Right.
And we're remaining consistent with that. So it is consistent. Alex Caruso, he's got an opportunity to start, and he's going to play some major minutes just because Avery Bradley isn't there. So he decided to stay in the bubble, but it is a form of consistency. Now, where some of the players are looking at is like, all right, where do you draw the line?
So now, I just think the 10-day quarantine is a bit much because they. So the thing is, they gave him that as a punishment. That's like a punishment. It was like a punishment because you got like Zion didn't have to quarantine for 10 days.
No, I mean you're absolutely correct. It didn't come off like it's a punishment, and I think whatever they decide, they're going to have to figure it out fast because the next season is coming up, and
right.
I mean they're shooting for December 1st. So if you like really look at it, like their season, I want to say it's supposed to be over on what, September or October?
October. It's like middle October.
You know, and what, that's 4 months away, 5 months away.
Yeah.
And really, if you really look at the pandemic, it hasn't got that much better. So I guess the way that they're looking at it is that in 5 months, you're not going to be able to like predict like what this thing is going to do. Now we could be hopeful that everything could go back to normal, but in actuality, like you got to think like they could play another season in a bubble.
They're not going to play the whole season in the bubble. Yes, the bubble works. Yeah, the bubble works, but now you're adding another 8 teams for 82 games. Or no, they're not going to play 82 games. Well, they were talking about playing 82 games. Next season's not going to be in a bubble. The NBA. So the thing is, yes, the NBA has done this right? They've done this right, but the good thing about it is like they play 80% of their season, right? So they play. For the most part, everything has been set up already. We knew what we was going to get, and we knew who was going to be where for the most part. But you're not gonna do another season, even if it's 60 games. Even if you have a 60-game season with 30 teams, no, because this right now is costing the league what $150. $150 million per month or something like that, something crazy. So. Now I don't know, man. I don't know if they could do another. So
I think they're going to have to. I think that's part of the conversation, and I feel like the NBA is the league that's going to lead that conversation. Is we have to think about it like differently. Like you said, you may not be able to play 82 games, or maybe
Right.
you have to have breaks to where you give like the players time to go home with their family. Like you're really gonna have to think through it.
Next season.
Baseball.
Mhm.
I mean, they're basically a weekend, and they've already had the whole thing with the Marlins. And I'm not saying that it's super catastrophic and it's going to destroy the season,
Mhm.
because baseball is like it's kicking off and it's doing it. But on the other end, like the NBA and the NHL have shown that you got to do it in the bubble.
But every hey, they saying they can't hear you, Scott. They say you got it was
What about now?
oh man.
It's a little bit. Oh,
No, you were good. You was good. You was good. But so there's gonna have to be deals worked out. Now, if the NBA goes next season and they do a bubble, they can't do 82 games. Even if they don't do a bubble, I don't think I don't think they should do 82 games until fall of 2021. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna start even if you start January 1st or Christmas. Let's just say because NBA doesn't want to miss the Christmas money. If you end the season in October, you still got to have a draft. You still got to have the preseason or whatever or camp whatever. If you start Christmas, it'll be catastrophic to the league to play 82 games. You just can't have no All-Star game next year.
So look, I agree with you, but the conversation that I think we have to start having, I think, and I said it last week, I've been saying it for the last month, football, the NFL and college football, they're reluctant to have it. They're just going to have to change the way that they do things. Maybe they can't do 82 games. Maybe they'll get back to a point to where they can do 82 games, but with everything that's going on, you got to make the adjustments. Like you're not going to be able to do things the same way that you were doing it before. You have to figure out, what's the safest thing and what are we sacrificing? The NBA, in my opinion, is giving up a lot. I mean, those players, they're at risk. They're away from their families. They're giving up their freedom. And I'm not saying that it's like equivalent to like what other occupations have to do, but they are giving up a lot just to entertain everybody. Some other leagues, like they put out like the ACC, they're supposed to play like an 11-game season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you put that out, but what are you going to do? You've got questions like I'm looking at what's going on with the NFL now, right? So you got like a lot of players that are opting out of next season. You know what I mean? And the reason why they're not playing, and maybe the NFL will wake up, is there's no blueprint. Like you haven't given a plan of action. Like with the NBA, yeah, you had players that sat out, but for the most part, a lot of the players showed up because there was a blueprint. There was a path. This is what we're going to do if this happens. This is what precautions we're going to take. The NFL hasn't done that.
Well, they have now.
Sort of.
So here's my thing. And correct me if I'm wrong. So yeah, we have way more guys in the NFL than we do in the NBA, right?
Absolutely.
So there were a bunch of guys. So and it's hard to compare because the NBA already played most of their season. But for argument's sake, if you look at the percentages of guys in the NFL that have opted out and the guys that have opted out for the NBA, the percentage wise of the leagues, it's probably around the same. Total, I think we had 10 guys. It was 6 guys. No, it was probably more than 10 guys, but it was 6 guys on the Patriots. 2 guys on the Chiefs, a guy on the Giants. I mean, it's scrambled here and there where it's not a big enough dent to say that it's an issue. I don't think that is. I think guys for their own personal reasons have opted out. Some may not feel comfortable. Some may have newborns in the house. So whatever, or some may have had pre-existing health issues. So again, that's their choice. They shouldn't be judged for it. They should be commended. I mean, because a lot of them, are leaving money on the table. You had Dante Hightower and Patrick Chung. Those are the two higher name guys, but they also older guys. So Dante Hightower is 9 years in. Patrick Chung, I think, is 7 or 8 years in. So those guys, in Bill Belichick's eyes, are on their way out anyway. A lot of the guys, aside from maybe the linemen from the Chiefs, but a lot of the guys that opted out had guys drafted in their positions in high rounds. You see what I'm saying?
So, yeah, I see everything. I hear everything that you're saying, but that's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is that we're almost into August.
Right.
Football is basically supposed to start in the August, September. The NBA had a plan with, okay, we're looking at sites. This is what we're going to do. We knew that a month ago. We knew what the path was going to be. We knew what they were exploring. We knew what options was going out there. They had a plan that they could put together to where they could submit to the players and say, hey, this is what we're thinking. What are your concerns? And yeah, it didn't all go, okay, everybody just said, okay, we're going to play. I mean, you had people that had legitimate concerns. What I'm saying is from the NFL, we're not seeing that. With college football, we're definitely not seeing that. I mean, they just said, okay, we're going to start a season, but we all know that the schools aren't even going to be open. And then the whole thing with the parents, that's a big concern too. I mean,
right. So college football college sports is a little different than professional sports because you got to deal with parents and they don't have the logistics that the professionals will have. I personally think that a football bubble is very difficult to do.
Tougher.
Not
tougher. Yeah.
I mean, because you're dealing with it is way too many moving pieces and to try and so a bubble for the NFL is almost impossible, right? A bubble for baseball is not impossible. But, baseball is baseball. They're going to want to do their own thing no matter what. So whatever, let have at it. You have the Marlins situation, but in the NFL's case, I believe you have to have 3 negative tests before you can even enter the building. You know what I'm saying? Before you get, and then you have your physical, and so they're doing all of that stuff this week. You have to have 3 negative tests. I think that's a good start. From what I read and from what I heard, every team had some sort of protocol as far as like how their facilities had to look and how they had to be handled. So yes, initially, I
think it's a terrible start.
No. But so here's the thing: everyone probably assumed that by right now that this thing would have been over. I think everybody had that assumption, mainly the NFL guys, because we've said multiple times a lot of people won't think it's real until the NFL starts missing games. And so yes, it's possible that that someone could get contracted if there's no bubble, but they have a plan right now. It may not be the best plan ever. It may not be the NBA's plan, but the NBA is different because again, we should if the NFL and the NBA switch spots, you would see a difference because they were in season.
Well, I disagree, and I disagree for 2 reasons. Number one, it's a terrible plan, and number two. Okay. So one thing that you did highlight that you are correct on is that the NFL has the biggest challenge of anybody. Right. They got more people and they got more logistics to figure out. But here's the other thing too. They've got less games. They've got more time between the games to where they can kind of get it right. and they've had more time. So the NBA was midseason, and yeah, okay, from a financial standpoint, they played the majority of the season, so they can just come in and be like, all right, we're gonna cut the regular season short and kind of run into the playoffs. Baseball didn't really have that luxury, but the NFL has been sitting on the sidelines. Basically, they've had the entire offseason. I mean, they got to play their Super Bowl. Yeah, the draft was a little unconventional, but I think it worked. They've had time to figure out something. They've had time, and
so what do you suggest?
So not to be overcritical of them, it's new to everybody, right?
Right.
So there's no plan out there,
right?
But I'm not claiming to be the smartest individual in the world. You know what I mean? Like there's brilliant people that work for the NFL. They can figure it out, man. What I suggest is you have to figure out how to do some sort of bubble.
It's not going to work.
It has to work. Or you've got to make modifications to the roster. Maybe you've got to make modifications to the games.
They've done that already.
Not so much. I mean, what, the preseason?
No, so okay, so that's a big thing. So you already shortened the rosters from 90 to 80, right? You already shortened the roster from 90 to 80. You don't have any preseason games, right? That's another thing. You don't have no one is going to be in pads until mid-August. You know, just mid-August. They're not even going to be in pads until mid-August. So they have to they're getting tested. I think is every 2 days or every 3 days.
So let me ask you this, right? Did they think of that, or were they forced into that? Because I feel like they were kind
everybody's forcing everything. It's not. I mean,
but what I'm saying is,
like, the NBA is forced into the bubble.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, right now, preseason football should be geared up. They don't have a plan, so they had no choice but to cancel it. It's not like they just came up with. Like,
I don't think that's the case.
The best thing to do is to cancel the preseason. They was just kind of like, damn, we ain't got no plan. All right, we got to cancel the preseason. Or they didn't come up with, all right, we're going to limit the roster to 80 people.
So who came up with it?
That? Huh?
They weren't, Scott.
They had to. They have no course of action.
Scott, hold on. They canceled the Hall of Fame game, which I believe would have been this week or next week. They canceled that almost 2 months ago. The first two preseason games were so again they're taking action. I mean, again, like you just said, hold on, hear me out.
Taking action.
You just said a couple seconds ago. This is new, and
that's fair.
Nobody really has a plan. No, everybody in every sport is going to be different because there's levels of contact, right? Baseball is ultimately the only contact is like a high five, tagging of the glove. It is non-contact. Basketball, you contact, but basketball you have smaller rosters. You only have a roster of 12 to 15. Football, you got 53 guys, and it's not like you can't cut that roster down. You cannot now the camp rosters and stuff like that. Yeah, you could bring that down, but you can't cut a NFL roster down. You can't in any of the sports. You can't really cut the rosters down because all those people play main sports, and especially in football, where it takes one play to get injured. You can't cut those rosters down. Going from 90 to 80, that's a big deal. That's 300 guys.
So let me ask you this: so you think the best course of action is the NFL just has to ride this out and see how it goes? Because that's ultimately what you're saying is that they have no choice in the matter.
No, I've been saying for
the way
months.
It is, and just ride it out.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is what they're doing right now with the testing. And I've said this, and you disagree with this for whatever reason, that you have to test. Like you have to test people. So if you don't, there's no vaccine, and don't plan on a vaccine anytime soon. So if you're planning on a vaccine, hold on. They're not going to be any.
Let me clear that up. I don't agree. I agree with you have to test more. I just don't think that that's going to solve everything.
I didn't say it was going to solve everything.
Yeah, okay, but I agree that you do have to test.
I mean, and so now they have access to these tests. They like all these sports have access to these tests and have the rapid testing. So yes, no one's going to have the NBA doesn't even have a perfect plan. You know what I'm saying? So nobody's going to have a perfect plan. What they're doing right now, should they had been more proactive?
Absolutely.
Yeah. But again, they were being cocky or whatever and saying this is gonna be done. Even like, for instance, what's his name? That the first guy that got tested positive, Gobert. He wasn't taking it. No one in the early stages, no one took it serious for real. Or I'm not gonna say no one. A majority of the people didn't take it serious. Now, once we started seeing it was real and people started taking it serious, the NFL in April or even March, once the NBA closed down, they should have been like, "Oh, this is real," and they should have said, "Well, we need to figure out what we're gonna do in case this is around in August." And I don't believe at that time because they were so concerned about their offseason and they figured that it was gonna be gone, that they said, "Well, we're gonna ride this wave and see what happens."
You're giving the NFL way too much credit, and this is just my mindset.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the world has had to figure it out, and that's just a cop out to just be like, "Oh yeah, well." It sounded like a whole bunch of excuses.
I didn't make an excuse at all.
Well, I'm talking about for the NFL. I'm not talking about you. You don't work for the NFL. You're not the person making these decisions. Right. So it's not an excuse for you. I'm just saying that they could do better than what they're doing. And that's just me being critical of them. Everybody else has been forced to figure it out. And yeah, nobody has the best plan. Mm-hmm. Nobody has the best plan of action, but they can do more and they can figure it out. And it's a lot of brilliant people that work for the NFL that can come up with something. The NBA got out there, they came up with something. Major League Baseball, it may not be perfect, but they figured it out. The NFL has just been sitting on the sideline like, yo, I hope this thing goes away. If it doesn't go away, I mean, at least my perception of it is that they feel like if this doesn't go away, we're screwed, and that's not the way to be. And that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I disagree with that. I don't think they were just sitting around not trying to come up. I think it's just more difficult with football than it is with pretty much any other sport. And I think that's
fair.
Because you got to think about the equipment too, and everybody's in such close quarters. So I think that they've been trying to figure it out. They just haven't, they haven't communicated it with a lot of people of their plans.
Okay, so that's another thing that I will agree with you is there could be a plan, and maybe they'll roll it out next week. Maybe I done came on here and bashed the NFL, and maybe next week when we go on, they'll be like, you know what? This was our plan all along. This was, and that's what we're kind of ultimately like hoping for. So maybe that's it. But right now, not fooling me. I got a couple questions for you.
Hold on. Let's get to the winner of the week first, and then
we can skip the winner of the week, man.
No, we can't.
Or I can go real quick with it, man.
All right.
No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner.
I want to be real quick, man. My winner of the week this week is Michael Porter, man. If you haven't heard, man, he's out there throwing conspiracy theories out there talking about that the coronavirus is for population control, and just in the Trump era, I ain't trying to hear no conspiracies. Just be a little bit more sympathetic to what's going on. This thing wasn't invoked by anybody to control the population. A lot of people have died behind this virus, and just to hear that idiotness. He's 22, so I give him a little bit of a pass on that. But yeah, man, that's my winner of the week, man. Talking that garbage this morning.
Yeah. So the crazy thing is, I've heard people say that like months ago, say things about that, and I was like, you sound stupid. I don't know, because conspiracy theorists just make me laugh, because every single thing that happens, they feel like it's the government, it's some sort of conspiracy. And I mean, and this is just another thing. We've lost people that we know to this, and I don't look at it as a conspiracy. I think it's something that at this point we have to deal with, and we have to figure out a way to survive around this thing. And but I agree, he sounded stupid. It reads even dumber. So because when I read it, I was like, you got to be kidding me. But no, I don't think it's something created for population control. That's just my personal opinion. His opinion is his opinion. The Nuggets called him into the office, and they probably was like, yo, you need to shut the hell up.
No, they basically told him, it was like, we can't tell you how to think, but you got to be smart. I mean, he kind of went on to where like this is the government's way of trying to control us with the mask. And for anybody listening, and like I said, people are entitled to their own opinion, but the government ain't trying to control nobody with putting on the mask. They're trying to make it safer. Like, people are trying to figure out, how can we stop this thing and how can we move forward? Mm-hmm. They're not telling you to wear a mask to control you. They're telling you.
I don't know how a mask is controlling someone anyway, but whatever.
Nah, but I mean that's his words. So yeah, he should definitely put a little bit more thought in that.
What?
LA Dodgers, Houston Astros.
Yeah, listen, I've been waiting. Man, this early. All right, so you gotta explain what happened. I guess how we got here.
All right, so everybody knows about 2017 base was stealing signs scandal, and pretty much Houston Astros, they got caught. It's a big deal in baseball. Baseball is a very traditional sport. They police themselves. They don't like cheaters. And the Houston Astros, all summer, I mean, well, not even summer. It was pretty much most of like January, February. We talked about it a little bit on the show, to where like the Houston Astros were just really cocky and really arrogant about it. They got slapped on the wrist, and people felt like their punishment wasn't harsh enough. And we've been pretty much waiting for baseball to come back and see how baseball was going to deal with the Houston Astros. And yesterday, a pitcher for the Dodgers, Kelly, he threw at a couple of guys, and he's got suspended for 8 games. But do you think, my question to you is, yeah, he's been suspended for 8 games.
Really? I didn't know.
He's
that must have happened while we was that happened today?
Yeah, that happened today. He's gonna appeal it. So he can still play until he appeals it. Dusty Baker got fined, and Roberts is suspended too.
I see it.
Yeah, so they ended up clearing the benches. Some words were exchanged.
They were not socially distancing.
No, not at all. I mean, most people sided with Kelly. This was bound to happen. The Astros, they've got to fear the wrath of the entire league. But an 8-game suspension is pretty harsh, considering they're only playing 60 games. My question to you is, do you think that this is going to continue, or you think that people are going to just say, you know what, 8 games is a lot of games?
No. Everybody's going to get their turn at the Houston Astros, and they should expect it. Okay, one, these people feel like, and granted, Kelly wasn't on that team that lost the World Series, but he was like, those are my guys, and I'm going to ride with my guys, right? And I mean, I think he didn't get suspended for the – I think it was when he threw that 96 mile per hour.
It was that Altuve's head.
Yeah,
no, it wasn't Altuve. It was
Correa. I think it was.
Nah, it wasn't Correa. It was God.
But he threw a 96 mile per hour fastball at his head. You know,
it wasn't a
so,
Tuve
yeah. So I can see how I can see.
Belgram, start with a B.
Okay. So at the end of the day, you know, I don't think it's going to end. Maybe in this series right now, but listen, I'm not mad at him for the pitches for him throwing at them. I don't agree with throwing at somebody's head because that's really dangerous. You know, if you hit him in the thigh, you know what I mean, in the forearm, not the forearm, but the tricep or something. All right, but when you aim for somebody's head, then I can understand where. All right, and the crazy thing is the benches wouldn't have cleared after Kelly struck out Correas. He started talking trash, and that's when the benches cleared because at that point, I think he probably threw a few shots. And then even, I believe it may have been Altuve who was on the bases, and he kept on picking them off. And the first baseman gave him, kept on hitting him on the side aggressively with his glove. So, there was there's clearly bad blood. And I'm excited about this series, but I still stand that it's not going to matter. The Astros aren't going to be in the World Series again. They're not. No, I think it's going to be the Yankees and the Dodgers.
They still got a good team.
They have a great team. Verlander's not out for the season, as first reported. He's gonna be back. That's cool, but they ain't messing with the Yankees or the Dodgers. I don't even know if they're gonna. They may win a game in this series, but
I am livid that my Nats are 1-4. Man,
you can't start slow. Juan Soto's not there.
This ain't the season starts slow. You cannot. Right. Now nobody has really jumped out to like a tremendously. I guess the Marlins were doing pretty good before they got kind of like shut down. But
the Marlins were they?
Yeah, they were first when they got shut down. So it's going to be interesting. But normally, I'm not even going to act like I'm the biggest baseball head. Like I do my little fantasy baseball. I watch the Nats, but like you said, and you called it first, you was like, man, when that first sport comes on, people are just going to run to the TV. So I've been watching baseball like crazy.
And you know what's crazy? So I just got wind. So the Marlins AAA affiliate in Kansas, the majority owner, I guess the Wichita Wind Surge, he passed away due to complications with COVID.
Oh wow!
At 62. So and that organization right now is just like, man, what is going on? But
so look, man, something that you've been kind of amp about. You ain't said nothing on here. Mike Tyson, Roy Jones, man, who you got?
So
who you got?
All right, so I have Mike Tyson. But after I was thinking, man, saw some videos of Roy Jones. I think it might be a little. Roy Jones was a bad boy but
he was a bad boy.
But Mike Tyson's gonna destroy him. So here's the thing. I think it's gonna be because it's for charity and it's like an exhibition. But I think we can all agree that Mike Tyson is only one speed with Mike Tyson, and it's like straight at you. So I think that
look good. His videos look good.
Yeah, man, and it's like, and they're both old. They're both old. Mike is 54. Roy Jones is 51. So they have to wear headgear. They have to. This is like the senior circuit of boxing, but anyway, but here's the thing. Roy Jones, Roy Jones could play around and everything, but I think he may hit Mike wrong one time, and Mike may say, "Screw this," and just go crazy.
For some odd reason, I think I'm gonna take Roy.
Oh boy, September 12th, man.
Yeah, September 12th. Maybe your crib, my crib. We'll figure out. Rick Ross or 2 Chainz.
So I got Rick Ross, and I'm glad you're bringing up all this versus stuff because I have some questions for you too. So I got Rick Ross, but I think it's gonna be a lot closer than what people think. It's people sleeping on 2 Chainz.
Yeah, I am too. I'm part of that group. I got Rick.
All right, so oh shit, come on, man. No, so I do think that 2 Chainz is underrated. I do think that 2 Chainz has a really good catalog that a lot of people are going to be aware of in a week or so. He's going to shock a lot of people when you start thinking like, oh damn, he got that song. But I'm taking Rick Ross. I still have him winning like 14-6, something like that. I see people up here saying 2 Chainz gonna get washed, but I don't think that's the case. I don't think he's gonna get washed.
He's probably got songs, but it is.
Yeah, no, I agree. So I mean, we're a sports show, and this versus thing, it brings in the competitive juices, right? So basketballs are getting ready to start tomorrow. So I'm gonna give you a couple matchups, and if y'all watching, y'all could give y'all thoughts as well, right? So they don't have to play now, but so Kyrie Irving versus his godfather, Rod Strickland.
Both of them in their prime.
Everybody's in their prime.
Kyrie.
Whew, I would take Kyrie as well. Moses Malone, Kevin Garnett. Oh, Moses Malone? No way.
KG was a bad. Moses Malone was bad too, but so KG was so unselfish. Like he could have, I got KG.
All right, I'm gonna take Moses Malone.
Okay.
All right, I got another one for you. Jerry West or John Stockton. Gotta get the white people in here too. This is interesting, right? So I've been thinking about this one,
so here's the thing about John Stockton, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very underrated scorer.
Okay.
He can really, really, really score. Played strong defense. One of the dirtiest guards.
Right.
He was a tough, feisty, dirty SOB. It's tough against the logo. But the logo, he used to sperm in the big moments.
You and this
the logo.
Who you going with, man?
Give me the logo.
All right, you got somebody here that said West. Man said West. So
I'll go West.
I got two more. Wilt Chamberlain, Shaq in the verses. Not rapping, but basketball.
Shaq.
I would probably go Shaq too, but
Wilt never played against anybody like Shaq. Shaq was in his prime the most dominant big man. And I ain't gonna say he was the best, but if Wilt had to go against Shaq every night,
nah. All right, I got one more basketball, and I got two.
Even handle Russell for real. But
you said what? Yeah, you couldn't
even handle Russell. So
but Russell always had the better team too. So
Russell had the better team, but like Russell, he played well.
And he still put up numbers. I agree. All right, so Kevin Durant versus I'm gonna hear what you got to say about this. Kevin Durant versus Shawn Kemp.
Kevin Durant all day, every day. Not even close. I don't even know why you even put Shawn Kemp in that. No.
All right. So last one, because I'm not gonna do the typical Jordan versus LeBron. No. All right, last one. T-Mac versus Penny. In their prom. T-Mac and Penny.
That's the toughest one. I have to go Penny. There you go, Penny.
I need to hear some explanation on this one.
There's not even a good explanation. T-Mac was a bad man. But Penny, I feel like if injuries, like we saw T-Mac without injuries, right? So we pretty much saw him in his prime. He could have been in his prime a lot longer had he not got injured.
Right.
But Penny Hardaway, I mean, had he not gotten hurt and had he not been playing with Shaq, like if he would have been playing like in today's game, right?
Right.
To where like a guard dominated. Like Penny used to get that off with a big man. You know what I mean? Like he still figured out how to get like Shaq, get everybody involved, and still put up numbers. T-Mac, those Orlando teams where he was dominant, Grant Hill was hurt. He had Mike Miller. He never really had like the team. And then when he got to Houston, he wasn't the same T-Mac.
Yes, it was.
He wasn't. Nah, I'm
going with T-Mac, man.
Him, Ron Artest, and Yao Ming. I mean, T-Mac was good, but he wasn't. That's when the injuries started to set in. When we got to Houston, couldn't really get out the first round. Yeah.
I get that. Okay. So I got one football one, and then we can get out of here. But Lawrence Taylor, right? Because I saw this one. Lawrence Taylor versus Saquon Barkley.
Lawrence Taylor is arguably the best football player of all time. He's not my best, but there's people that will tell you that Lawrence Taylor is the best football player, greatest defensive player of all time.
Yeah, so Lawrence Taylor, I just for the Chiefs. Oh my gosh. I just drew a complete blank. No, the linebacker / the linebacker.
Derek Johnson?
No, that died. Derek. It's gonna be funny because he's one of my favorite players. Him and Deion Sanders.
Derek Thomas.
That's it.
The guy. He had a whole bunch of sacks. He was a bad boy too, but he wasn't LT.
No. He wasn't LT, but Thomas, Lawrence Taylor, and Deion Sanders are like my three favorite.
Deion is up there, but I can't put him over Lawrence Taylor. I mean,
no. Lawrence Taylor. No, I'm just talking about. Lawrence Taylor.
Deion was a bad boy too, and it's funny. I don't think Deion is getting the respect that he deserves. Deion was a bad boy too. He was a bad boy.
Yeah, Deion was good. Deion was great. He was great. He was great. But
all that Reeves Island and all that. Yeah, Deion Sanders.
Yeah. And Reeves ain't got nothing on Deion Sanders at all. But Saquon Barkley, right? The reason why I said Saquon Barkley, I saw a meme, and I guess they had Saquon Barkley trying to get to the edge, and Lawrence Taylor was the linebacker in front of him. And I saw a lot of people disrespecting Lawrence Taylor, saying that if Saquon Barkley is getting to the edge, he's going to outrun Lawrence Taylor. And I was like, no, he's not. I said Lawrence Taylor will catch him. And I don't want to get beat up for this because I know Ern is watching. I know there's some Giants fans watching, but I saw that look at this joint real quick, and I get to my that was one of my very first high school, football jerseys was Derek Thomas. I actually bought that with my own money. But anyway, Saquon Barkley, don't kill me for this. Y'all might, is a bit overrated. Just a bit. And here's why. So
he's on a terrible team.
No. I ain't trying to hear that.
He plays on a terrible team.
He does. He
played, and the Giants are on the come up. They'll be all right.
The Giants are going to win 6 games this year.
Yeah, but I think after this year or whenever they start,
right, and they have some pieces
out eventually.
They have some pieces. I agree.
But right now they're just on the total rebuild.
I get annoyed when people say he's better than
Ezekiel Elliott.
Yes, I get annoyed because he wasn't even better than Ezekiel Elliott in college. Yeah, he had, but and I don't want to hit because Penn State was legit.
It's Barry Sanders versus Emmitt Smith. Ezekiel Elliott is in a better situation. I'm not saying that Saquon Barkley is better. I'm just saying that it's really tough to compare. If Saquon Barkley was on that Dallas team, I don't know, man.
His numbers would be the same.
His numbers would be way better. It'd be way better than what they are now, or Ezekiel Elliott's numbers.
Both. Because Ezekiel, his numbers would be similar to what Ezekiel Elliott has. So here's the thing. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Saquon Barkley isn't a baller, and I'm not saying that he's not a top 5 running back in this league. But when people try to put him at the number 1 running back spot, no. Because here's my thing with this. There's a thing about durability, right? And we know once you start getting hurt.
So before you go, I just got to figure out where your mindset is. Who's the best running back?
Can I give you a group instead of like? I don't think that.
Give me all tier ones, all your tier 1 running backs.
All my tier 1s. All right, Christian McCaffrey, Ezekiel Elliott,
okay,
Saquon Barkley,
okay,
I'm forgetting somebody. Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook is on the cusp. I keep him on the cusp. And
boy, but I don't know if I go.
If healthy, Dalvin Cook could do everything.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, if healthy, and that's been a problem, right? So he's like in between, like tier 1 and tier 2. He's like tier 1.5, right? And I think the last one is like as of right now in the last 2 seasons, you got to put Derrick Henry in there.
Okay, that's fair.
A lot of people will say Christian McCaffrey is number 1, right?
And
it's
hard.
It's hard to argue that. I wouldn't argue that. But if you have Ezekiel Elliott out of the top 3, I think that I think that you're looking at the team instead of looking at the player and what he brings to the table.
So in fairness, if I had to pick one out of that group, I'm taking Saquon Barkley.
What do you mean? Pick one as far as what?
If I had a choice between those 5 running backs, I'm taking Saquon Barkley.
I would take Christian McCaffrey. And then I'm taking Ezekiel Elliott. Because out of all those guys, none of them block better than Ezekiel Elliott.
And you forgot about the dude in New Orleans.
Kamara?
Yeah, Kamara. He's in there too.
No, he's not tier 1.
To me, he's tier 1.
Why?
I think Saquon Barkley, if he had the right situation, could do everything that every one of them running backs could do. I just don't think he's in the right situation. I think eventually the Giants will get there.
Carolina wasn't in that situation last year. Look at what McCaffrey did.
Carolina had 10 times more to work with than the New York Giants.
What?
Yeah.
They were playing with their 3rd string quarterback.
They still got a better team, a better overall team.
No, the Giants have better receivers, have better tight ends. Greg Olsen was hurt. I'm not letting you get away. No, hell no. Carolina was.
Saquon Barkley is a bad.
I'm not saying that he's not, Scott. But
it's tough to really say anybody is like better. Like I feel like if he was in, he get number one, he could adapt to any situation. Number
Clearly
two,
he can't because he got hurt.
Number two, if he was in that Cowboy situation,
what? I mean, Zeke led the league in rushing 2 times and led the leagues in.
Saquon Barkley would have led the league in rushing. If he'd been in that Cowboy situation, all those weapons in that offense, oh yeah.
So
you have a Barkley jersey on now. If he was in that Cowboy situation.
Let me tell you, I am a fan of Saquon Barkley. I don't want to seem like it's making me like I'm a hater or something. I just feel like when they saying that he's like the best running back I don't think he's the best running back in the league. I just don't. I don't. Because I think he's been in the league. This is what he's going on his 3rd year. He's going on his 3rd year, and he's already had issues, right? Injury issues. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Zeke hasn't had injury issues. Now he's had so, and Saquon Barkley is the Giants' offense, right? So
he's in that Cowboy situation. Like you can't even like Ezekiel Elliott.
Ezekiel Elliott just had 300 carries last year.
He's in that Cowboy situation.
That is such a big hog. That's hogwash.
Hogwash, man. He's on a loaded offense.
Now the offense wasn't always loaded.
He plays with a better quarterback than any of those guys.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's facts. I mean, I don't like the Cowboys, but
that's true.
Elliott plays with better quarterback. He's got better receivers. He's got a better offensive line.
Yeah, but they didn't always have that. Win.
They've had it since he's been there. Him and Dak Prescott came in the same year.
Yeah, but come on, man. Come on. Don't because no one was saying Dak is gonna be that guy. They was like Dak is you don't even say Dak is just serviceable.
No. Yeah, he is serviceable, but he's a better quarterback than any of those guys.
Fan. Don't be disrespectful, yo. Don't be disrespectful. I'm trying to get
he's better than serviceable. I will say when he first came into the league, I didn't think he was going to be as good as he turned out to be, but he's been consistent the whole time he's been there.
Yeah.
And he has not been hurt. He's been
So, I mean, I get it. Zeke only missed games due to being stupid.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, he's in a way better situation.
Yeah.
You play Ezekiel Elliott on them Giants.
He does the same thing. He does the same thing.
No.
Now you're being disrespectful.
He would not be being disrespectful. The Giants.
Why?
You know what? If he was on the Giants,
he's gonna be the offense. So he's gonna get all the carries. He's gonna get all the receptions. Yeah, he's gonna be the offense.
He'd rush for 1,050 yards, and he'd be hurt all the time if he was on the Giants.
I don't think that's the case.
Okay. I mean, we could disagree. I mean, we can't be up all night debating this, but Ezekiel Elliott on the Giants, he's an above average running back. He's not a tier 1 running back on the Giants.
So that means you don't consider him a tier 1 running back.
I mean, it's hard to dispute it in that Cowboys situation.
Hogwash.
I mean, statistically, like, how can I not say it? Again, it's the Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders argument. How can I not say that the person that led the league in rushing is not a tier 1 runner?
2 out of his 4 years.
Yeah, 2 out of his 4 years. How can I say that? I could just have an opinion that if he was in a different offense and had similar weapons than Saquon Barkley, I don't think the production would be the same. That's just my opinion.
Well, we're gonna see year 3 because I always say year two for NFL guys is always, for the most part, for the stars, is usually a struggle. You know, I mean, Mahomes is the exception, but year 2 is always, you kind of like dip a little bit. But so year 3 he should bounce back. One of his linemen opted out, so that's gonna be his excuse this year.
We'll see.
If we even have a season, but All right, man. So let's get up out of here. This is Off the Record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
It's your boy Scotty B, man. I want to holler at you.
Yeah.
Anthony Adebayo.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes.